guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Sanctuary Dragon deck profile. You guys asked for this, so I've been playing this with this deck, quite a bit today. Yeah, this deck has been working pretty well for me. It's really consistent, and it's pretty fun to play. And actually, it's kind of linear, but I don't know. I really like Royal Paladins for its consistency, and this deck is pretty consistent. So, without further ado, let's just start off with the deck profile. So, so for the starting Vanguard, I run starting Legend. Blah 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 blah. Forgot what his name is, but yeah, he's I actually don't want to play him. I want to play the Grade 3 Searcher instead. But since I don't have that option, I can't. I sold my my copy already, so I don't really have one for myself. So I'm running him instead. He's okay. I like him because he can let me ditch off my useless cards that I don't need in my hand. So yeah. His effect is slow charge this card and then discard a card. When you do that, you can draw a card. Pretty much, and you have to have a Royal Paladin Vanguard, but you're playing this deck, so it should be Royal Paladin. So basically, you usually ditch a Grade 3 or a draw trigger, so you can draw a new card. Yeah. Or what I usually do is I move him to the side, like here, and I move him up later on, so that I can swing for crappy numbers. But my Vanguard hits for very big numbers. So yeah, but usually by turn 3 or 2 or 3, he's probably gone already, so that's fine. So for Grade 3s, I run 4 Sanctuary Guard Dragon. This card is very good. This card is so good. I don't know why it's so good. His effect is Limb Break 4. This card gets 3,000 power for every Grade 1 or lower Royal Paladin you have on your field. So basically, if you have if you have 3 boosters, which you normally would, this card gets 9,000 power. So he'll be 20k at limit break, and he can be boosted. So that's fantastic. Him being boosted with like a Marin or a Snowgall when you have 3. Yeah, if you have 3 Snowgalls, he'll be 28. And then if you have an extra Grade 1, for example, like another Marin or something, in front of a Snowgall, he'll be swinging for 31, which is pretty scary. Next, I run 2 Fang of Light Garmals. This card is kind of like a personal preference. I run him because when you ride him, you can still search for a Snowgall. And when you call him a rear guard, you can search for Snowgall. And, that's why he's there for the extra consistency. You don't need more than 2. You can personally you can actually run Alfred, but I don't run Alfred because when you ride Alfred as Vanguard, he's stuck at 20k, so you can't hit that 21k. While as Garmor can hit 21. Simply because when you have 3 Snowgalls, he gets plus 3k power, and if you have 8k Snowgall, he'll be swinging for 21. So yeah, if you're running between the 2 10k Vanguards, I'd rather run Garmor in this deck. Of course, he doesn't give you any pluses, but that's fine. He's fine. And then I run 2 Palamedes because Palamedes is a good card. Right. So Grade 2s, I run 2 Flag Knight Constants. You don't really need to run need to run too many of him, because he's kind of there for early game pressure, but later on he won't be really that useful anymore. So you won't need to run him or play him. So usually later on, he's ditch fodder. But yeah, his effect is when this card attacks and hits the Vanguard, you can counterblast 2 to call a Grade 1 or lower Royal Paladin to a rearguard circle. So basically, he's like an on-hit version of Akane. yeah, and he's 9K, so that's also, you know, one of the reasons why I run him over Akane. Next, I run 3 Beast Knight Garmor. I run 2 because he's 8K and it's kind of weak. So yeah, but of course, you know, if him and if you have all your snow gulls all blinged up and stuff, he'd be swinging for 16, so that's fine. But I think 3 is fine. Late game, because by turn 3 or 4, you should have 3 snow gulls already. At least that's how it happens when I play. When I play, I usually have all my snow gulls by turn 2 or 3. So yeah. Next, I run 4 Gallatin. Gallatin is here because he's 10K and he's your main ride target. So yeah. And then next, I run 2 Blaster Blade. Blaster Blade is here because you have, you know, vacant counterblast most of the time. So he's there for you to kill some rear guards while yeah, you can counterblast 2, kill a unit. It's pretty good. Kill a grade 2. I mean, yes, grade 2 or above. So when you're fighting against a mirror match, you can kill your opponent's Palamedes and they'll be really salty. So I run 2. I was running 4 Constants before, but Constance isn't really that good late game. So yeah, you can kind of think of him as a counterblast 2 draw 1 card, except Constance lets you choose which card you want to draw or, you know, call. So yeah, Constance is a good card. But anyway, talking about Blaster Blade. Blaster Blade is a good card. He helped me quite a bit of times today. So yeah, some great ones. I run 4 Snow Gals. He's the main booster of the deck. I usually have all 3, like at least 3 out by turn 3. A rare thing that happened today was when I had to ride one and a damage tech one, and I was really sad. So yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. But you know, besides that, you usually search them out really fast. So yeah, this deck's really good at making, you know, really nice fields. And then next I run Marin. He's usually I usually use him as ditch fodder, or I use him as a ride target. And sometimes I actually rarely use him as a. Have I ever used him as a booster? Yeah, I use him a few times as a booster, but sometimes I use him as an attacker instead because with him and a Snowgall, when you have 3 Snowgalls, they form a 16K column, and that hits magic numbers against 11K Vanguards, and it also gives your Sentry Guard Dragon an extra 3K boost, so he'll be hitting for 31. So it's pretty good. Marin using Marin as attacker is pretty lousy. So yeah, I run 4 Marin. And then I run 2 Rangal. I have never used his effect. You do not want to call him with Sentry Guard Dragon unless you have no more Snowgalls in deck for some reason. Usually he's ditch fodder. Yeah. So yeah, you can actually run Toy Poogles instead of him, but Toy Poogles aren't even, well, they're okay, I guess. But yeah, I run 2 Rengals. Just because he's a base 7K, I run him over Toy Poogle. Because normally normally when you call a Palamedes, your opponent's going to kill him off, and you don't want to, spend too much guarding for Palamedes. So you usually won't have another grade 3 on the field. So that's why I don't run Toy Poogle. And for the last card we run is Perfect Guards. So 4 Perfect Guards. And then for the trigger lineup, I run 8 crit, 4 draws, and 4 heal. So this trigger lineup it works pretty well. A lot of times, by the second or third attack, you attack with Sanctuary Guard while he's at 31. Your opponent won't have a perfect guard anymore. So those criticals really help. They'd be like, well, I'm just gonna YOLO it and not guard, and you get a critical trigger, and they're really sad. So yeah, this deck is pretty good at making people sad. So yeah, this deck is pretty consistent. I haven't played with a deck this consistent since I don't even remember. But yeah, this deck is, you know, so consistent. And it's pretty cheap to build too. So yeah. Anyway, this is Karotaku, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, by the way, yeah, you know, if you have a grade 3 searcher, I would suggest you run that instead. But since I don't, I'm just gonna run this guy because he looks like a total bamf. All right, this is Karotaku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.